Radio, Lehan Ashandra Labshe, and Miguel Antonio Barragan behind the control board, as well as taking co-host details. This is a show primarily about boxing, even though the football season has started, which will work its way into the lexicon of Fight Net Radio as it does throughout the season. But we are in a very unique period of time where not only did we have the Indianapolis 500 just a few weeks ago, where we just had the Kentucky Derby, we are in the middle of an NBA playoff, an NHL playoff, the beginning of the NFL season, and we're moving into the baseball playoffs, all in the same couple of months. So it's a lot of chaos, and if you're looking for one of those shows that's going to talk about those topics, that would not be Fight Net Radio. Instead, we'll just complain about bets that we didn't have on those games. With all of that said, this is the check-in portion of the program. We do check in with our co-hosts, find out how they're doing, and we will start with Miguel. I went south of the border, Barragan. Tell us about your trip to TJ. Is the Hong Kong / Adelitas back open yet?
I'm gonna neither refuse nor deny that one. I don't know.
Do you actually know people who listen to the show? Do you? Do you really?
No. I mean, other than my homie Martin from work, that's pretty much about it. But other than that, no.
Put it out too, right? I mean, I'm just putting it out there.
We all have that one guy.
There are a lot of guys where I'm at right now that, hey, how do I listen to the show? I'm like, it's called Fight Net Radio. It's kind of not hard to find. It's not like I'm hiding the show from you. It's just, I think you'll be bored by the show most of the time. How was TJ? How far you went to TJ, or did you go down all the way to Rosarita this time?
No, just to TJ. There's where we got this house that we're trying to fix up. Basically, I'm the laborer, so I took some furniture. I had to declare it on the border, yada yada, right? But it's work. Basically, I didn't exactly take a vacation. I had to pull up this damn furniture up some stairs to the second floor of this duplex. So it was work. It was a lot of work, and I've got bit by some mosquitoes while I was over there. So maybe I brought back something for sure. But yeah, exactly. The South now, I'll call that. But yeah, that was it. And then I came back literally just got back into town a couple of hours ago. So my hands are still vibrating from the vibration of the road.
Damn.
There you go. Mm-hmm. That's quite the trip. And by the way, I could have told you about the mosquitoes because they're happening in South San Diego.
I mean, I knew about that. Spray. I got a little bit fewer sprays, or fewer bites this time because when I went this month, I didn't bring any spray with me. But I know.
Rookie.
Smoke cigarettes. Rookie. They don't like smoke either.
All right. Yeah, I'll pick up a bad habit.
Yeah.
Don't inhale, just blow around you.
Way to go, Andrew. Good quality advice for the kids out there listening. Take up smoking.
Yeah, I just watched
you want to know something? I was given cigarettes at a young age down at the river when we'd fish overnight, so I wouldn't get bit alive. Yeah, right. He said I'm shocked. And it was my stepdad too. Damn, that even got worse. That even sounded worse when I said it. No, man.
Well, at least I can't even go anywhere with that joke-wise. I mean, it's just you buried it all on your own. Fine job, Andrew. Andrew, how's the week been? How is the Bay Area? You guys are literally on fire in an orange cloud. How's it going up there?
Orange cloud. I am now wearing masks everywhere I'm at. Before you'd get on the roof where there's no one, you would take off the mask, because of COVID or whatnot. But now, no, sir. It's really bad. There's ash everywhere. It's not looking good for our health here in the next 5 to 10 years. So that's about all you can do is just keep wearing the mask. I will say it does work. When you sneeze or blow your nose not wearing a mask, the shit is just fucking brown. But when you do wear a mask, it is not. So I would, suggest everyone put on a mask out here in Northern Cali, even if you're just walking with no one around you.
There you go. And as for your update, San Diego is still awesome. Sorry for the rest of the world. There you go. That's my update. Moving forward, this past Saturday, I just love the Top. I get the press releases from Top Rank, so this one is straight from Top Rank. The Rise of the Mean Machine. Really? Really? All right. First of all, we can't say his first name. which is Shamalama Ding Dong in my universe.
Can we even say
Mean
his last name
Machine,
too?
Egidgius Mean Machine Kavalakas
Kamalakis.
is a top welterweight contender once again.
Mm.
In his first fight since losing to pound-for-pound king Terence Crawford last December, Kavalakas knocked out Canadian veteran Michael Zuski, who until Saturday nobody had heard of Michael Zuski other than Michael Zuski's family.
That's right.
In the 8th round. Kavalanovsky now improves his record to 22-1-1 with 18 KOs. He knocked down Zuwiski with a combination to close out round 7, then charged out of his corner to finish him off in the 8th. Following the second knockdown of the fight, referee Kenny Bayless immediately waved off the fight, probably out of boredom.
That
Zuwiski was.
Oh,
Go ahead. No,
I
go
was
ahead.
going to just say, when you said he ran out, Timothy Bradley, I don't know if you guys seen, he kept saying he needs to check his temperature. He needs to check his temperature right now. And he checked his temperature, and it was hot. Did you guys hear the ending of that fight? Timothy did great. Yeah, it was real. He did pretty good on check the temperature. Then the guy knocked his ass out. I was like, well, he just did it.
Shout out to Andrew Labouche, probably the only member of the Fight Net Radio team who actually sat down and watched this fight.
Listen,
On
I
a
had
side
my
note-
doubts. I had the doubts when the guy was from Canada. He's Canadian, right? Comes out from Canada. I don't give a shit. You're undefeated. I started having my doubts right there, but he did good. He held up. He was ahead on the cards. He couldn't do the whole couldn't go the distance, man. He couldn't take it at the end. But it was a entertaining fight. I'll say it like that. Maybe my expectations were really low because, like I said, Canada. Come on, fuck you guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, if it ain't on the ice rink.
Wait, we have quotes. We have quotes from
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kavalauskas.
Go ahead.
I was controlling the fight. No shit, cowboy. I was
Hmm.
never in danger. I was never hurt. Again, no shit, cowboy. I wanted to knock him out faster, but it happened this way. You can never count on the knockout. Jesus, who wrote this? Did someone write this for him? Because this is stupid. Words back to back. I knocked him out. I was in control. I was never hurt. You can never count on the knockout. I was working. I swear to God, these are actual quotes. I was putting pressure on him, period. I saw him slowing down, period. Round by round, period. I saw him getting weaker, period. And weaker, period. I was just blocking his punches, period. Not feeling his power, period.
That means he was getting hit.
More amazing quotes. I don't think Crawford, period, has any choices, period, at welterweight, period. I can ask his team, period, with all due respect. Actually, this one's got commas. I can ask his team, comma, with all due respect, comma, to give me a rematch. That's where you really wanted a comma right there, too. Because these guys have no opponents yet. So he came up one comma short.
He almost
Shout out to the team over at Top Rank, and I hope they don't hear this because I actually know the people who write the press release. I actually send coffee to every fight that Miggs and I go to just intentionally, so we're in tight.
That was one thing, Lee, about the fight I didn't like. They kept trying to act like this guy should be the next one at Terence Crawford all over again.
That's
and it's
there's
really
nobody for Terence
that's
Crawford
really
to fight.
sad.
You got to build a fighter.
That's really sad. Well, he already fought him though. Terence Crawford. Now look, Kaliakis. Damn, I tried to practice this shit the whole fight too. He dropped Terence Crawford, even though they didn't count it. I think it was waved off, but he did hit Crawford, and Crawford's glove touched the canvas at one point in that fight. I don't think one win against Lewiski could bring him back to the #1 spot for Top Rank. It's very sad if this is where Terence Crawford's career is at. That's really all I got. I don't think he deserves Crawford. Crawford needs to move on from this guy.
And move on to what, Andrew, exactly?
Well,
what is there at the welterweight division? Are we going to live in the fantasy world where the PBC is going to let one of their fighters fight him?
If Bob Arum's legend, right? We all know Bob Arum's made a lot of money in this sport. he's probably swimming in it at his house in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
It's time.
He's only worth 300 million, Andrew. I mean,
yeah, and that's what's on the books. We know Bob Arum's made a lot of money in this sport, Lee. It's time to overpay. He's got to do something for this young man that's been very dedicated to him. Am I lying, Miguel?
No, I mean, I hear you. It's he has to open up his fucking, his book already, his checkbook. I mean,
it's gonna come back. We all know Terrence Crawford is my favorite. I don't know about you guys, but he's my favorite against anybody in the welterweight division. So the money's gonna come back eventually. I think it's time for Bob Arum to overpay one of these guys and get Terrence Crawford a name. We've tried everything else. We've tried putting down PBC fighters. Terrence Crawford has called out PBC fighters publicly. They like staying behind Al Heyman's skirt. I get it, right? They're all that little boy hiding behind their mom. We all get that. But now we need to get them out with the check. And I think it's time for Bob to start trying to get something for Terrence. So Terrence is going to have to leave. That's all there is to it. We're at that point. He's at that point in his career because Crawford ain't getting no younger. I believe he's in his 30s now. It's do or die now for Bob Arum in Top Rank.
Gonzalez topples Mariaga in a featherweight co-feature. Joet Gonzalez picked up the WBO Intercontinental belt, which for those of you at home wondering what that means, absolutely nothing, with a one-sided unanimous decision. 99-91 on 2 scorecards and 97-93 on 1 scorecard. Over the 3-time world title challenger, that is a shitty heading for Miguel Mariaga.
Yeah.
Over the 3-time world title challenger. You know what? That just means that's like a Ric Flair statement. Ric Flair's joke always was, I'm the 16-time world champion. It also means I lost the title 16 times. Right. Exactly, Rick. Gonzalez had this to say after his victory: that puts me back in position I want to be. I want to be back in with the tough guys. I told my manager, Frank Espinosa, and my team at Golden Boy that I didn't want no tune-up fights. What would you call this fight? Oh, well. I wanted to show people that I could compete with the top guys. What is it with these terminologies? With the top guys and be in with the heavy hitters and boxers and compete for another title real soon. I want another world title shot. Well, don't you just want a cookie? I think I've earned it. From what? I think we can all agree that Miguel Mariaga is fighting against a guy who is not a true taxi cab driver by most of the bubble standards, but still. And does Joet Gonzalez have a position to start barking, Andrew?
Listen, he fought Miguel, tell me if I got it right. He fought Shakur Stevenson, correct, in his last fight?
His last fight?
That is correct. They actually bring it up.
Okay, good. All right, so I got the right one because I'm always getting him and
he lost in a one-sided decision to Shakur Stevenson last October
now listen,
for the vacant WBO featherweight world title.
Now listen, Lee, it's either Shakur's that good or Joet got some experience off that fight and got better because he looked really damn good in this fight. Speed, combo, counter punching. Poor man's Juan Manuel Marquez, I thought, halfway through. I can't say he's won yet because he doesn't have the opposition that Marquez fought, but the style, the punches, the combinations, it looked really crisp.
I was loving the pressure.
Yes.
Back in Mariaga. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. All right. So you watched the fight.
I watched the ending, like the last 2 or 3 rounds. We were just finished, putting everything away, and we're like, all right, that's the motherfucker on. But yeah, I managed to catch the last 2 or 3 rounds.
Okay. Yeah. A really good performance. He wants a title shot because he wants to add on to his house. They told us that night. With the Shakur fight, he was able to buy a 4-bedroom. Now he says he wants to add on to his 4-bedroom. He needs another title shot. So the kid's got drive right now. I believe they all lived, he had a lot of family living in an apartment or a trailer home, something. It was real bad conditions, not real bad, but bad conditions to where he is now. Now he has, the fight with Shakur under his belt. He knows he belongs. He didn't get wiped out. He didn't get stopped. There might be an upside to his career, but that is his drive, is he wants to add on to the house.
There you go. And in the undercard bouts, who gets a green card? That's what we like to call the undercard bouts. Featherweight Aleem Jumanakhanov, hashtag MTK for life, wins a green card with a KO in the third round over Jorge Ramos. Yay for him. In the bantamweight division, Manuel, God damn, my Spanish is getting worse. Manuel Flores, TKO in 5 rounds over Jonathan Rodriguez to win his green card. Junior lightweight Anthony Chavez, 9-1 with 3 KOs, gets a unanimous decision over Aiden Gonzalez to win his green card. And lastly, lightweight Eric Puente, 4-0 in a unanimous decision over Luis Norambuena to gain his green card in the bubble. There you go. And that takes us all the way through the lovely Top Rank Saturday night. I also received a second press release from Top Rank right on the heels of that one. And this one, Artur Beterbiev and Adam Dennis light heavyweight world title showdown has been postponed. The WBC IBF light heavyweight world champion Artur Beterbiev, Beetlejuice, title defense in Moscow against Adam Dennis has been postponed after Beetlejuice suffered a rib injury in training. Butterbean and Dennis is expected to be rescheduled before the end of the year. I didn't know anybody actually cared about this fight. I realize he's got 2 titles, but is this actually worthy of somebody writing a press release? I start with you, Miguel.
I mean, the press release worthy of kind of give us a heads up because we want to be right. He's our overweight champ, right? So if any super middleweights move up and potentially have a major big name showdown with Beterbiev, we want to keep tabs on Beterbiev. So I mean, worthy of a press release, yes, but anything else beyond that, not.
Well, funny, it didn't even make Boxing News 24.
Do you think the Zone would accept him as a legit contender to Saul Alvarez?
No, because they're looking for quote unquote premium boxers for.
My bad.
I don't that term premium, which according to them is like fucking, I don't know, Khabib. Like seriously, that's their opinion.
Yeah, no. So Khabib and De La Hoya. Can you fucking believe that?
Are you fucking serious? How they're just such? You can tell the cash grab is so obvious and desperate at this point. No, they would never give the opportunity. Fuck no.
There you go. This note just handed to me by Andrew Labouche. It's a tweet from Heather Heat Hardy. The money being offered to female fighters for championships fights is embarrassing. Really? I can't imagine who's talking about that. I'm not even going on a diet for that. Everybody wants to know when I'm going to fight next. It's when I get paid. Yeah, it'll be by Playboy when you pull out your tits.
It wouldn't help. It wouldn't hurt. Wouldn't hurt. She could do it. They do it all the time.
She could have ugly breasts. I mean, some women do have very weird, ugly breasts.
Walking on the beach. I don't know. There's one fighter.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Miguel.
No, I was just gonna say I've watched a few of her fights, and I've watched her for a few of her weigh-ins. So some of her bathing suits that she wears are already pretty revealing anyway. It kind of looks like she's already going in that direction anyway because they are pretty revealing. But regardless, I mean, if she's not getting paid for standing on a scale while she's posing, then I don't know. But it looks. If you guys ever pull up any of her pictures when she weighs in for some of her Bellator fights, her bathing suit is pretty revealing anyway. It's damn near a G-string anyway. So I mean, I don't know. Not that I'm encouraging that by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh wow!
But it looks like.
I just looked her up, but I'm telling you that V-cut thing she wears on the front, so you can see the tattoo under her belly button.
Right.
Like she wears a high under teddy. I mean, good Lord, that's stripper caliber.
I know a way she can make money, and it's not original. It's already being done. There's a girl out there that's selling her clothes after she works out, and it's making her a lot of money.
I would want to know where that does that have snaps on it? I mean,
oh,
I really recommend all you got to type in is Heather Heat Hardy nude, And the first picture that comes up is, well, first of all, she's not a real blonde based on what I can tell. But wow, she's got a lot of tattoos on the front side of her. She likes being naked. Just get it done, lady. I digress. Let's get back into real boxing. Top rank release.
Well, that's the problem right there, Lee.
It truly is. I'm just such a shitbag. Top Rank has released its entire menu of fights. This happened a few days ago, and I don't think we actually talked about all these fights. So let's talk about it. Starting on October the 3rd, Jose Zapeda takes on Ivan Baranchyk for the junior welterweight contenders clash. Did they really call it that? Yeah, junior welterweight contenders clash. That's how they're calling it. I shit you not. Okay, so that's bullshit. Anybody disagree that that's bullshit and Ivan is not getting his green card?
Yeah, it's all bullshit, of course.
Emmanuel Navarrete returns on Friday, October 9th against Ruben Villa for the WBO featherweight world title bout. All right, I turn to my two fight experts. Is this a real fight, Miguel?
I might have to look up who Ruben Villa is on this one. Vacant. Oh, so the belt vacant. Actually,
that's already a bad start. That's a bad start.
Yeah, that's already.
You got to look him up. It's a bad start.
Yeah,
it's a bad start.
Yeah, this is the belt that I kind of suspected this was going to happen, right? I mean, like what we kind of all did, I guess. Shakur drops his belt, he moves up, and then Navarrete drops his belt and picks up the belt that Shakur dropped. So this is what exactly it is. The vacant WBO featherweight title, exactly the belt that Shakur dropped. So this looks like kind of like a gimme fight. I mean, I'm a fan of Navarrete. I'm never going to call him the paper champ, but Ruben Villa, I got to look at who this dude is.
He's from Salinas, California.
Oh, you're all in.
He's undefeated at 18-0-5. Yes, I'll be rooting for the young man to do good, but Navarrete is
knockouts. 18
only
5
knockouts. Yeah, that's what's going to hurt him going up against Navarrete, who kind of walks through everything. And if you only have 5 knockouts, I don't see how he's going to keep this young man off of him.
Yeah, the pressure and the volume. It's Navarrete is like a younger, smaller, better Margarito. Basically, he just marches right through the punches, keeps the pressure going, cuts off the ring. And if Villa doesn't have the power to keep Navarrete honest, it's not gonna happen. It's not good looking for Villa.
Villa has had decent, I would say, records. Guys in front of him with decent records: 10-0, 17-1, 17-0, and 26-2 are his last 4 opponents. So.
And he's from Salinas. He's hungry.
You got to be, right? Got to be. Get out of there. He wants to buy a house, too.
Salinas. Well, he'll buy a mansion. And by the way, Ruben Villa will be making more than the entire female division, period.
It might have been that comment that got Heather not to want to sign for fights anymore, Lee. That's what I was thinking.
You know what? The sooner she gets into Playboy, or I don't even know if Hustler's still around. Playboy. She could go classy. Playboy will be fine. I still follow Mia St. John in the hopes that she does an over 50s edition. I mean, she's still looking pretty tight.
Workout, stream it online, make them pay to watch your workout.
Oh my, I'm in.
And then
$74 for her to do a workout nude. She'd make more than any fight she's ever done.
No, she's got to wear her clothes. I don't want to be, you say it, Lee. She got to wear her things, right? And then sell them.
Auction them off.
I'm telling you,
there's eBay page, everyone.
There's a girl out there making a lot of money. I forget her name, but someone's already doing it. They're saying it's really hot stuff on the internet. Guys are sick, man. They just want to smell it.
There's a market for everything. There's a market for everything.
I would love to be on your job site to hear what guys talk about during the day, Andrew. I would fit right in, except for the work part. I mean, I would fit right in. October 17th, the first, to quote Jim Lampley, the first fight fan fight of the year, Vasily Lomachenko takes on Teofimo Lopez. We'll talk about it a little bit later on with a full story, but the contract is signed. The two fighters will fight. It is on. It is the lightweight world title unification showdown. One of the Bob's O's must go in this bad boy. and we've got a lot of people weighing in. We'll talk about that more in a moment. We know that Butterbean and Dennis has been postponed. And then to round out on Halloween night, Naoya Inoue takes on Jason Maloney. Yeah, you guessed it. You've never heard of Jason Maloney? Neither has Jason Maloney. But it will be for the unified bantamweight world title. And if you've never seen Naoya Inoue beat the fuck out of someone, it's always a good time. With all that said, you're all caught up on those fights. Let's move forward with the news. Vasily Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez is official for October 17th. Top Rank has now officially announced that lightweight championship fight between Vasily Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez for October 17th from the bubble at the MGM Grand Conference Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. In a positive for boxing fans, Lomachenko and Lopez, who just want to get paid, will be televised on regular ESPN and ESPN Deportes on October 17th. Fans won't have to pay to see Lomachenko Teofimo fight on the ESPN Plus app, which is good news. A lot of fans aren't in a position to add a monthly expense during this time in their lives while the coronavirus quarantine is going on. The start time for Lomachenko versus Teofimo broadcast is set for 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. For those of you who don't know, Lomachenko's 14-1, which they try to dispute over at Top Rank on a regular basis. With 10 KOs, will be taking the biggest fight of his career by facing the 23-year-old Teofimo Lopez, who has been dogging his heels since 2018. And it's for the WBA, WBC, WBO Lightweight Championship of the World. It's finally getting a chance to shut Lopez's mouth by beating Lomachenko. I will start with you, Andrew. How fucking nutted up are you for this fight?
This is an awesome fight. I hope this is the thing that breaks the barrier on all the superstars, makes them want to get back out there and fight. Lomachenko Lopez is a huge fight. Could be the fight of the year, the way this year is going. Listen, Lomachenko's had two rough outings, right? Campbell and Linares both were touching him. You know, he didn't look so Matrix in those fights, as ESPN always likes to describe him. So I think Bob and his people got together, and instead of putting Lomachenko in a situation that maybe loses their title, they're going to take a chance here. Sort of like when Golden Boy put Canelo in with Floyd, try to get that title from him before someone else does. There's slippage there. There's a right hand that's been landed on Lomachenko by Linares. We've seen the right hand of Lopez, what it did to Richard Comey, second round knockout of the world champ, a power puncher himself. It was a very impressive knockout that Lopez did. He's a live underdog, but he's an underdog, Lee, in my book. So it's going to be an interesting fight. Go ahead, Miguel. And then I want to say something about the Maloney kid, because Lee's going to get about a 10 paragraph direct message for what he did right now.
I can't wait. All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm certainly nutted up for it. I mean, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
It's a a fight that we're looking forward to. We felt like we needed a big this, and before the year ends, we were going to get it. Thankfully, it was kind of on the fence a couple of times. It was on the verge of like completely falling apart because of who did want to fight with how much money, whether or not there's going to be fans in the crowd, etc. Pay-per-view. So there were a few times where we felt like this fight was not gonna happen. There's been talk about Lomachenko moving back down to 130 after this fight, and even what's his name, Teofimo moving to 140 after this fight. That's what it sounded like, at least from what they've spoken about in the last year or so. So I kind of feel like if this fight was delayed any further, it wasn't going to happen, because someone who knew how much longer we're going to be able to keep Teofimo at 135. He's a young man. He's still doing now. He's still growing. He's still SSR is going to do moving to 140 in the very near future, and how much longer he can hold out on staying at 135, we don't know. So I'm glad the fight's going to happen. I'm totally okay with the fact that it's not going to be on pay-per-view. I don't think anything should be on pay-per-view right now, quite frankly, and I'm glad that a big major fight like this isn't going to be on it. But to kind of piggyback on what Andrew was saying, yes, Teofimo is definitely an underdog, but hot damn, he is a fucking live underdog. Let's not count him out.
It's worth the bet. It's worth the bet.
It's definitely worth the bet. Yeah, exactly. If your hand is trembling on hitting that fucking bet button on your laptop, just hit it. said, it's worth the bet for sure.
Well, with all of that said, are you sending me over 15 pages about Baloney Maloney?
No, but I know Sam will be. He's from Australia.
Oh God, he's Australian.
He's 21, 1, and 18. He's been knocking people out since 2017. It's a decent fight. He's also an ex-champ. Don't ask what title. I just heard it on the commercial.
All right.
Listen, in a way, gets hit. We seen Nonito hurt him late in their fight. This is going to be a decent fight. I really like what ESPN and Top Rank's doing. They're bringing some big-time fights to their network and not charging for it. Something that I think a lot of other people are going to start looking at. ESPN kind of turning into the new HBO, and it's going to be great for the fans if they keep all this on off of the pay-per-view platform. Even if you're paying $5.99 for their little app, way better than $100 for one fight on a single night.
Don't you wait. We've got a story about that coming up. Former lightweight, retired former lightweight weighed in. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because there's a joke in the headline itself. So let's play a little game. What former lightweightish guy do you think weighed in on Teofimo versus Lomachenko? I start with you, Miguel.
Former lightweight. I'm gonna go with
Former.
Former. What do you mean?
What does that mean? Yeah.
Well, not just former. I'm talking former. I don't think he's been anything for a while. To be brutally honest.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking about an active fighter or like a retired fighter?
No, he's retired. He's retired.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Ray Mancini. Boom boom.
Not bad. But no, not that quite that far back. But you're in the ballpark.
Right.
Andrew.
The question again, what did you ask?
Who do you think weighed in about Teofimo on Fight Hype about the fight? I'm just doing this so I could read the title.
Go ahead and read it. I have no idea.
Zab Judah.
Oh, wow. He's out of a coma.
Right. Teofimo is hungry. And here's what I wanted to add to this headline. Teofimo is hungry, and so am I. ... What?
What? No, man.
That's the part I added.
I just said he was in a goddamn coma. What does he mean he's hungry? Oh, no.
Teofimo is hungry. Teofimo is hungry, will give Lomachenko big problems. He was on Fight Hype, but when I saw this headline, all I kept thinking was Zab Judah, Teofimo is hungry, and then it should have been in parentheses, and I'm hungry too.
Oh, okay.
Can you please visit my starter pickup page and send me $1 for exclusive content and my commentary about fighters, even though I have really no reason to talk about fighters at all. Like, how desperate is Fight Hype? I mean, no knock to Fight Hype. They do a great job. I'm just saying, really, Zab Judah, really? I mean, we couldn't dig anybody else up.
Zab's a lucky guy. He got hurt bad in his last fight. He was in the hospital. It's really, it's cool that he's just out here giving interviews. I thought you were serious when he said I'm hungry too. I was like, no way. There's no way he's fighting. So
funny you should say that. We'll take that as our next story. Chris Bird made an announcement. I'm making a comeback at 50, and I will be a world champion.
See, this shit's got to stop, you guys. See when he started?
WBO heavyweight champion Chris Bird says he's going to make a comeback at age 50, and he believes he'll capture a middleweight title.
What?
Chris Bird? Oh, Chris.
Okay, hold up. Last I remember.
Yeah, no, that's what it says. I'm not mistaking the quote. He's gonna fight at middleweight. Bird, 41-5-1 with 22 KOs, hasn't fought since 2009, and he appears to have trimmed off a lot of muscle weight in the 11 years he's been retired. It's unclear how serious Bird is about coming out of retirement. The 1992 Olympic silver medalist Bird pulled off a big upset in stopping WBO heavyweight champion Vitaly Klitschko in the ninth round in April 2000. Vitaly quit after suffering a left shoulder injury, which would later require surgery to repair. Vitaly's younger brother, Vladimir Klitschko, would avenge his loss by defeating Bird by a lopsided 12-round unanimous decision in October of 2000 in Cologne, Germany. Has Bird found the fountain of youth? ? If Bird has been drinking from the fountain of youth, then he could do some damage at 160s. Bird's enthusiasm towards returning to the ring could wear off quickly once he gets in the ring with a young lion at his local gym. Fucked up.
I'm having like visions of him looking like Randy Jackson. Anyone seen Randy Jackson lately?
Oh my God. No.
I think they're drinking the same supplement. Randy says all he's been doing is drinking. I could have swore he got his stomach stapled, but he says he's drinking something that made him lose that much weight.
No shit. I remember towards the latter part of his career, but I remember like Beard, like in the latter part of his career, Bird. I mean, he dropped down to like 175, if I'm not mistaken, where he got his ass handed to him, and he looked great physically, but he looked weak as hell. Like he looked like he had no power. He wasn't able. I mean, he tried to do, his the same thing where he was moving around the ring, like because he's got really great defense. But man, he looked really bad. Like physically, he looked great, but in the ring, he looked totally flat.
One of these old guys are going to get hurt. That's what's going to put an end to all this is when one of them really gets hurt trying to pull this stuff off. I mean, we even seen, obviously De La Hoya said he wants to come back. Julio Cesar Chavez right away challenged him. Have no idea why. Chavez is way older than Oscar at this point. I think he's almost close to 60. Sergio Martinez comes back, the youngest of the bunch, but someone's going to get hurt. What Mike Tyson and Roy Jones have started it's and I still I doubt that fight's happening. They've really died down their promotions. Haven't really seen anything. Last thing I heard about Mike Tyson, he said after he did that promo video, he spent a week in bed. So it kind of shows you how his training's going. It's not good. Not good.
This story just in, Dillian White to announce rematch on September 15th with Alexander Povetkin. Those of you who don't know, Dillian White, the most fucked man in the heavyweight division. No, not the front way. We're talking the back way and up the poop chute. Says that he'll be making an announcement officially tomorrow on September 15th for his rematch with Alexander Povetkin. Although White didn't give a date, Matchroom boxing boss Eddie Hearn said, yep, if he doesn't do it, he'll be picking cotton on the back 40 just like Dad wants him to. If Povetkin wins the rematch with White, it'll make him the WBC mandatory champion Tyson Fury. Yeah, shits and giggles about that one. That's a position White has been in and literally been in for the better part of the last 3 years and still can't seem to get a WBC title shot. Povetkin can earn WBC mandatory position. The only reason Povetkin hasn't taken the WBC mandatory spot is that he's stuck giving White a second fight due to the rematch clause. All right, let's talk about this. Is this going to end any different for Dillian White? Anyone? I'll start with you, Miguel.
It can, because I mean, let's not forget that he did drop Povetkin a couple of times. So I do see that. I'm glad that they're giving him that rematch opportunity. I honestly didn't think they were gonna. I think that was like, okay, they were just gonna sweep him under the rug. But like, the fact that they're gonna give him the opportunity for the rematch, I'm pretty excited about that. But I do think the fight potentially end differently for him. He did drop Povetkin twice. He was looking fine. It was just he got caught with that uppercut. I mean, there's not a Povetkin can't land that up again. There's a pretty good chance he can. We see he's got that one punch knockout power that he's able to land on fucking White, and he may knock his lights out again, with one punch. So I think that White will come a little bit smarter this second time around, and he'll be able to finish. Well, maybe not finish, but win Povetkin. I do think he has an opportunity in this rematch. Yeah.
It's a real dangerous fight. I hope he gets paid, because it could be his last one if he ends the same way. Dillian White, look, if he tries to play cautious, it's going to be a boring fight. No one's going to want to see him in there with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury might laugh and move on. And don't tell me that the WC is going to make him fight, because they haven't made him fight anybody in 3 years.
WBC, yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right.
And
you're
then
right.
If he goes in for the kill, there's chances that Povetkin lands the punch again and puts him out. What scares me about, and not scares me, but what's alarming about that fight is the way it ended. He hurt him bad. He knocked him out before he hit the canvas. I don't see Dillian White forgetting about that punch and just going in there balls to the walls again. I think he's going to try to play it cautious. It's going to be a real boring fight, and hope he takes a decision to try to get himself a championship check. But no, I don't like it at all. I don't like it's too fast. He's coming back too fast from this knockout, fighting the same guy. But Eddie Hearn and them kind of abused Dillian White his whole time with them. So why change now?
All right, I'm going to give you, Andrew, the selection of the next story. Do you want the biggest story of the week? Do you want the funniest story of the week?
Ooh.
Or do you want a regular story?
We'll go regular. Let's leave the last two for the
Regular.
end.
All right, regular
Yes, sir.
story it is. Keith Thurman says that the fight with Errol Spence is happening in 2021.
Oh, fuck.
Keith, one-time Thurman says he'll be fighting Errol Spence in 2021, and he can't wait for the opportunity. Thurman, who's now 29-1 with 22 KOs, wants his WBC belt back. That Spence, 26-0 with 21 KOs, recently picked up last September. Keith was forced to give up the title when he was out of action with injuries for 2 fucking years from 2017 to 2019. The winner of Spence versus Danny Garcia, as if there was a question of who that might be.
No, that one already happened. It's Danny. You said
okay.
Danny, right? Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
He's fighting Danny.
Yeah. The winner of the Spence versus Danny Garcia fight will need to defend against the WBC mandatory Sean Porter in their first fight, a match that neither guy is interested in taking. The World Boxing Council wants the winner of the match to face Porter. All right, what's going on at the first of all at the PBC, that the WBC? Wow, that's a lot of C's. What's going on at the PBC that the WBC is actually fucking with the PBC fighters, i.e. the WBC? Don't they normally suck dick and play ball? I mean, I'll start with you, Miguel. Is the WBC finally over with their romance of the PBC? It sounds like it.
I mean, it does sound like it, but I don't know. I think too the welterweight, you know, the PBC has a string to hold on the welterweight.
Where did you go?
So I think that. Can you hear me?
There you go.
I don't know what the hell happened.
Try again.
All right. So I don't. Their romance with them is done yet. I mean, I think because PBC kind of controls the welterweight division right now with some of the top guys that they have, swapping the WBC belt between all of them is totally fine. I don't think the bromance between the WBC and PBC is over yet. No, I don't. I'm pretty sure that they're hanging on to their balls a little bit longer.
Well, you're talking about knocking out a bunch of fighters. Andrew, what do you think? Is the WBC done with the PBC romance?
No.
Has the C left the sea?
No, at all. Not at all, because Keith Thurman is a part of the PBC. With him getting a shot at Spence, that keeps the title with the PBC as long as you know whoever wins, and it also keeps Spence away from Terrence Crawford, and that's what Al Heyman has been trying to do Spence's whole fucking career. Remember, this is a kid who came out and was like, Terrence Crawford needs me. I don't need him. He's the one that's older. He really said that. Like, they're really looking at his age. You know what I mean? Like, hey, how old is he today? Yeah, we still don't have to fight him, boss. Can we fight someone else, boss? Hey, seriously, like, they outprice themselves. Then they say it's top-ranked spout because they won't get paid $10 million, even though he's not getting paid $10 million anywhere else. And Spence, you know, he gets a fight with Danny. Now all of a sudden he puts out this information. Oh, look, I'm really talking to Terrence Crawford, y'all, because I want to get that fight. No, you don't. You're just getting all of us to talk about you and Terrence Crawford, but you got to get past Danny Garcia first. Then when you get past Danny Garcia, oh, well, look, the WBC's mandatory is Keith Thurman. They really want to keep my title, so I guess I got to fight Keith Thurman now. Get the fuck out of here. The whole PBC is scared of Terrence Crawford. Al Heyman's scared of Terrence Crawford. Spence is scared of Terrence Crawford. I was going to say Berto, it's the other loser. Broner's scared of Terrence Crawford. Pacquiao's scared of Terrence Crawford. They all don't want a piece of Terrence Crawford because they know he's the best fighter in the world. Terrence Crawford needs to make a decision. Do you go to Al Heyman and become the poster child of PBC? And I hate talking like this, but we're there because these other guys, they're not going to do it. They're just not. They keep fucking the same way the big guy did it, Mayweather. Oh, you got to talk to Heyman. You got to talk to Heyman. All the fights didn't get made because nobody talked to Heyman. Well, Terrence Crawford needs to make a decision. He has to ask Bob and ESPN to either step up or I got to fucking move on because you're not doing it for me anymore. Listen, Bob is a veteran in this game. I don't know why he can't make a contract and go, all right, motherfucker, I'll overpay you. But if you win, I got your next two. I'm promoting your next two fights. Fuck Al Heyman. He ain't giving you this money. I'm giving you this money. So why don't I take your next two fights if you beat my guy? If you don't, we separate and move on because if Terrence Crawford beats Spence, he is the face of the welterweights, right? He is solely the face of the welterweights if he beats Spence. So why can't Bob Arum, maybe you need to reach out to Don. Maybe you need to put that small print in the back of the contract and hope one of those dinglings don't fucking flip it over and read it. But it has to get done some way or Terrence Crawford needs to move on because he's only getting older and that's what the fuck they're waiting for.
There you go. Next news story. Hold on, Miguel. You're going to get a chance here to pick.
And Miguel, let me give Miguel. Let me see if he. Hey, Miguel, did you hear what Don King did to the Klitschko's?
What he did to the Klitschko's? No, what did he sign him?
He tried putting a clause in the back of the contract, and the Klitschko's and HBO they flipped over the contract. And said, "Wait a minute, he's gonna have your next 3 fights if you sign this." Damn it! That's what got that's what got Don kicked off of HBO. They didn't want to do business with him, but this is how you get shit done, right?
Yeah.
What did Al Davis used to say? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win. Come on, Bob. Yes, it's time for Bob to start using his fucking head on how he's going to get his guy the face of boxing.
Tyson Fury started training today for Deontay Wilder's trilogy in December. Tyson Fury started his training camp today, September 14th in Maricome, with trainer Sugar Hill Stewart for his trilogy match against Deontay Wilder on December 19th in Las Vegas. When interviewed, Deontay said, "I have a fight?" What?
Maybe.
Fury has already gotten a good head start in his training by working out at home during the lockdown, and he doesn't need to worry about dropping weight. Fury's promoter Bob Arum revealed the December 19th target date for his fight with Wilder last week, but it's not official yet. The top-ranked promoter has pegged the battle to take place in the new Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, which seats 65,000 fans. Bob is hoping to get 15 to 20,000 in there. By the way, for those of you wondering, there are only 2 stadiums clear because I know this from watching football. That would be Jacksonville and Kansas City, and they only had 13 in either stadium this past weekend, if I recall correctly, and it looked like a college game being played in a big stadium. It looked bad. I think it's better to have no fans than a couple of fans. So here is what Fury told ESPN. The only thing I'm concentrating on now is the Deontay Wilder fight for the 3rd time and being victorious in that fight. I never look past an opponent, especially one as dangerous as Deontay. He went on to say he needs the utmost respect because he's a great champion, and he's one of the fiercest punchers in boxing. Yes, I must fight Wilder again. I must fight Joshua. I must fight them on. As long as I want to continue and as long as I'm healthy and alive, I'll keep boxing and clean up. Tyson Fury, who, if you don't recall, said he's like 1 and done or 2 and done, has now basically said, once I get past these 2 guys, sure, everybody show up, I'll get paid. I don't care. I'll stick around until I lose the titles. I don't give a flying crap. I'm taking paychecks. Here's my first question. Does anybody think that Deontay Wilder has a chance come December 19th? And I start with you, Andrew.
No, no, I don't. I think Deontay Wilder is broken physically and mentally. Listen, the guy had leg problems throughout his career. Now he has arm problems. He has a wrist problem. Didn't he break his wrist or something in his first fight with Tyson Fury? He's always got an excuse.
Squad is going to be all over this.
He's always got an excuse. Tyson Fury knows how to beat him. Tyson Fury's living in his head. I think I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. I know young man has power. Wilder has great power in his right hand, but you got to land it. And in the second fight, you didn't land shit. And I don't know if your arm was hurt or if it wasn't your fault for getting in the ring. You didn't land anything, and you got beat down. You got beat down real fast and ugly. So I see that fight happening, and I think we will. I don't know if we're gonna have a full house, but I think they're gonna. Las Vegas is gonna start loosening up on the attendees who can attend fights or concerts or whatever, because it looks like we're starting to get a handle on this COVID thing, and that fight's in December. That's a few months away. College football is making a announcement supposedly this week that they are going to open up the college football season again. It's starting to look like we're moving towards getting back to what normal used to be. I think they will have attendees in that fight. They almost have to have it to have these big fights take place with guys making so much money. So yeah, I'll say yeah, but I got an idea for Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna get back on. I'm on Terrence Crawford shit today because we got to get this fight. The same group of men that you had bum rush that garage for your car, why don't they bum rush the Danny Garcia Spence fight? A few of your boys are going to get arrested. Have a lawyer down at the jailhouse waiting to get them all out. Let's bum rush that fight. Go in there Hector Camacho style, stand on a fucking chair in the front row and call his ass out. I'm dead. Like, we need this fight to happen. Terrence Crawford needs to make a presence somewhere. Go to his training camp. Call him out. Have all the cameras ready. Have everybody ready filming you going to Spence's camp. Got to make it happen somehow. So I say bum rush the Danny Garcia fight.
The flag is up, and away they go. Miguel.
Sorry, Miguel.
We're talking Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. You can jump in on the Crawford thing that is clearly Andrew's new rallying cry, which is cool. He's had coffee. I'm down with it. I'm doing yoga. I'm working on being more zen. I'm actually laying in the whatever down dog thing is for my back, but I started training and dropping weight. I've decided that I'm going to middleweight, which is 175, right? I can make 175.
When
Feeling good about it. I can feel my ribs again. For those of you who don't believe me, please go to Fight Net Radio on Facebook and look at Andrew's wedding pictures once again to see just how ghastly fat I was. But I digress. From the downward dog, I ask you, Miguel. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Yes, that was the topic. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. So I think that
you're fading again. How does that happen? Like you're here and then you fade.
How about now? I moved that spots.
A little better. Jesus.
All right, that's fine.
How does that happen? Like you're perfect and then you just kind of go weird. It's a weird thing.
How about now? Better?
All right, go ahead. Give it a try.
All right. So, yeah, I do think that he has a chance just because of that right hand. I like to think he's a smart enough man to learn his mistake from that second fight. That's really his own right hand. That's in that first round he did drop. Fury did get up, so he wasn't able to finish him off probably because it was later on in the fight, that super knockdown that he landed. But I think there's no chance whatsoever. I think that Deontay still has that right hand. I do going to be a little bit more cautious with him, more I guess gun shy, and he's not going to be throwing that right hand as much as I think he's going to be a little bit more accurate with it. So yeah, he has a chance. Is it a great chance? No, there's always that puncher's chance for it, but I wouldn't say I would call it a great chance. Like worth putting money on it? No, I wouldn't say so. But the chance is there. But he's a puncher, and he's always going to have that puncher's chance. So a chance, yes, albeit very small.
Did you want to weigh on a possibly obscene / criminal way for Crawford to get a fight with Errol Spence?
That's only trespassing. Nothing wrong with that.
No, right.
That might be a documentary. Like he has to show up.
What the hell is going on with your microphone?
Oh damn it!
Is it the room? Do I need to get it?
No.
I've been lazy about not getting you a
Yeah,
rig.
we got to help him out, man, because
No,
it's really bad.
it's on me. I was supposed to send him a rig. I admit it. It's on me. It's on
I
me.
heard, Miguel, I heard right hand a few times. That's about it.
Okay, that's good.
I can't even back you up, bro, because I can't really hear what's going on.
It's just that he has because of the right hand. And nothing else.
Not at all.
It's just-
Not at all. You just fade into the background.
Yeah, no, it is the right hand. I mean, I'll go with that. But he looked so bad in that rematch. Like you almost want to believe that he was hurt. You know, it was that bad. The fight wasn't close. We watched it again. Me and my boys watched it again the other day. I think PBC was showing actually was what was funny. And Tyson Fury put a whooping on that man. Put a whooping. He humbled his ass that night. I know Deontay still has his little character on the outside that he's been doing, but in the ring, I think he's humbled.
Okay. Since we're never going to hear from Miguel, except when he's not talking. Like, you come in clearly when you're not supposed to be talking, and then when you talk, it just fades out. It's almost become a running joke, almost in a strange way. And I'll take care of it this week. I really will. This time I really will. Because Sam's going to write me an awful hate note about, I love the show, but once again, you didn't fucking send him gear and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
blah,
it's hurting the show, Lee. It's hurting the
Dear
show.
Lee, I'm your biggest fan. Sam, I am. I will not eat the green eggs and ham. Moving forward, do we want the biggest story of the week, Miguel, or do we want the funniest story of the week? And trust me when I say it, it's a funny story.
I'm gonna have to go with the funny story.
Yes.
Did he say funny story?
Funny story. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Funny story's good call. Here you guys go. Pay-per-view pricing for Charlo versus Lomachenko and Jermel versus Rosario. Are you ready for this? I don't even want to read the story. $74.95.
Holy, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Showtime is charging $74.95 for September 26th pay-per-view doubleheader headlined by the Charlo twins taking on Sergey Derevyanchenko and Hassan Rosario in this 6-fight card. Premier Boxing Champion presents the card at the Mohegan Sun Casino in where, Connecticut? Is that where this is? Yeah. It's too bad there isn't a pandemic discount to cut the price between 30 and 40. Charging 75 is steep amount considering what the world is going through right now. That's what you think the problem is with charging that much? Hold on, who wrote this? Matt Lieberman. Listen, Matt, you think that the biggest problem of this is that it's the COVID crisis? That's where you're wrong, bro. This is the Lee Honish commentary part of the program. The problem with $74.95 is neither of these guys deserve $74.95 for any pay-per-view that they're going to be on ever in their lifetime. Like, I'm not even sure I would, if I were in Vegas and you told me that the cheap seats were $74.95 and I was trying to impress a woman, and let's assume I couldn't get press passes, I still wouldn't pay $74.95 and I'd go see Cirque du Soleil, for God's sakes. Like, you got to be grade A shitting me that Showtime is trying. Do they only want 1,000 people watching this pay-per-view? Like, first of all, the guy who wrote the article should fucking check himself at the door for going, there should be a COVID discount. People don't have money. People wouldn't pay for this, asshole. What are you on, you crap smoking grinder?
I like to say,
Andrew.
I like to say when this fight first got called out, I criticized the pay-per-view. Then when they announced it, we seen that in 24 hours, only 1,000 people, and that's a good number you threw out there because that's all there was. 1,000 people had hit like on the announcement. Right now, 2 hours ago, Premier Boxing Champions put "Don't wait, order now" on their Facebook feed. 45 people have hit like, and it's been shared 8 times.
Right, exactly. Let's all rush out and spend the $74.95.
Hold on, Lee.
Yeah.
Hold on. Head over to PBC YouTube channel today to see coverage of Jermell Charlo's workout. 193 people hit like. It was shared 6 times. Okay,
Right.
there's a pattern here that tells me that this is going to be a bust. This is a bust fight. Listen, his son, what's his, Jason, what's his last name?
Lieberman. Lieberman.
Lieberman.
Dickweed. Let's just call him Dickweed. It's Matt Lieberman. Matt Lieberman. Listen, let's just call him Matt the Dickhead, okay? Matt the Dickhead actually wants to believe that it should get a COVID discount. Here's an idea. I'm not even sure I'd watch it on actual Showtime, okay? That's how really? Charlo versus Lomachenko? Like, that's your big fight? Really? What, the Charlos are fighting on the same card so we can prove they're 2 different people? Really? Really? This is what you got. You want me to pay $75, $75 fucking dollars to watch this shit? Are you kidding me? I'd rather pay $75 to watch the very average Mulan movie before I paid for the Charlos. Okay? I'm just being straight up honest about the shit people. Here's an idea for the people who made the movie Tenet. You should put it on pay-per-view. I'd pay $75 on pay-per-view so I don't have to go to a fucking movie theater and catch COVID from all the assholes who aren't wearing masks. I'd pay it. And you know what? I'd have a better time in that 2.5, 3 hours watching a Christopher Nolan film than I would watching this shit box of a fight card for 70. If this sells 1,000 pay-per-views, I will literally be the most shocked man. I will grow my hair out just to shave my head again.
You know HBO is going to say it did 1 million. I mean, Showtime's going to say it did 1 million, Lee. They're famous for the million buys. So I'm more than sure Showtime's going to put a big number on this to make people think that they did something big. But the numbers don't lie on social media. Spence, they said something about they showed an old fight on Spence. It was like 698 times, and it was shared over 300. So they do have a following on the PBC's Facebook page. It just has nothing to do with the Charlo twins. Very poor judgment on putting this fight on pay-per-view. And so we'll see. I didn't like it in the very beginning. Lomachenko, while he is a good test, he is not pay-per-view worthy. And if you watch the fight, with Triple G, they keep telling you that Triple G is sick, and Triple G is coughing. He's leaning over. He can't breathe in the corner. Like, he was sick, and he still beat the guy that's supposed to be a test for a guy who's been a champion for how long?
Yeah. $75, Miguel. 75 fucking dollars. You know what? A better spend on $75 is a bag of blow. All right, I'm just saying it and putting it out there.
Damn it, Lee! You're in the fucking place where you can't say that.
I said it, and I hope I said it loud enough that somebody down the hall heard it. I could walk around and find out that ketamine and fucking elephant tranquilizers is a better purchase than the fucking Charlo Brothers $75 pay-per-view.
Oh, I got one for you guys. Miguel, I'll give it to you right now, but let me say this one. Khalib Truax, his birthday. Truax, his birthday just passed, bro. It got more shares than the fucking Charlos Brothers pay-per-view. Damn it.
You gotta be all right, Miguel. Rain down some joy on this moment. Like, tell me that Heather Heath, and this is what I truly believe. If Heather Heath Hardy did a nude 2-hour pictorial workout at $75 up, she would sell more than the Charlo card.
She absolutely would.
Fuck, we'd be glued to the TV.
Yeah, she not only would she earn more than that pay-per-view card, she would earn more than the other women on the card. Yeah, it's she's probably think about doing that maybe a couple of times. Did I lose you guys?
No, you're there. Yeah,
You're
we're
there.
just letting. Yeah.
We're letting you have
All right.
space.
All right. No, I was making sure because like after a while, like I can't hear you guys. Anyway, yes. Not only would you make a shit ton of money more than the fucking however many pay-per-view buys that Showtime is gonna like what's about. But I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, again, those fights aren't bad. You know, they really aren't bad. That fight with Rosario and Carlo, that fight is. I'm looking forward to that fight, but it's not pay-per-view caliber type fights. So, for that,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. If this thing's on Showtime, this is like an HBO boxing
yeah,
after dark card. You know what I mean? Where
It doesn't even qualify as a show box in my mind. This should be like on Fox. Like, I don't even think it makes it to show box. This should be on like Fox Sports The Quattro. I mean, Jesus.
the problem is Fox pays attention to ratings. They know these guys don't draw fucking flies to shit, and they don't want it. Lee, if these guys were big in the ratings, they would be on Fox. Like, you know, a guy like Adrian Broner, who hasn't had a big win in a long time yet, always finds himself in big fights because he gets ratings. These Charlos are still unknown. We're still talking about tests, and I swear to God, they've been champions for as long as Deontay Wilder, and we're still test, nothing. Why don't you go over to Daz and fight Triple G? Fuck your test.
Guess what? We're joined by a special guest on the phone. Hey, not you, Clarissa. That's right. We're joined by longtime friend of the show, the Steven Espinosa calculator. 1,000 pay-per-view buys at $75 each means I make $1.8 million at the end of the year. Thank you, Espinosa.
We gotta say, I always give the young man shit, but this week David Benavidez had a son. I see this on the PBC book, and let me tell you, 2.6 thousand people hit like, and it was shared 32 times. So his birth of his son is doing better than the Charlo brothers.
Wow. And safely, I'm going to say this: more people are probably in Heather Hardy's tweet than the Charlo brothers. I mean, I'm just going to be brutally honest. That takes us to our key story of the night and going to round out the evening. It is the biggest story of the week, so let's get her done. Canelo Alvarez files lawsuit against Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, the United States, DAZN, three guys we don't know the name of or never heard of previously, and anybody else he could think of putting on the fucking lawsuit.
Hey, 280.
Yeah. Superstar boxer Canelo Alvarez has filed lawsuit in the federal court of Los Angeles with a complaint against, and this is no shit, Golden Boy Promotion, Oscar De La Hoya, and DAZN, alleging they haven't covered the terms of their contract that was completed with the streaming giant in 2018. Canelo signed a $365 million deal at the time, which comes over 11 fights. As of now, the 30-year-old Canelo has only fought 3 of the 11 contests, beating Rocky Fielding. Yeah, that Rocky Fielding. Daniel Jacobs, and most recently, Sergey Kovalev. Canelo is seeking $280 million in damage, which is hilarious. According to ESPN, Canelo is looking to get $280 million in damages, the money that is still on the remaining 8 fights with DAZN, and addition to the sponsorship and gate revenue. He also allegedly wants to be able to potentially walk away from the deals with Golden Boy and DAZN. The lawsuit arises from the breach of a single largest contract in the history of boxing and one of the largest in all of sports, the complaint says per ESPN. DAZN, Golden Boy, and Canelo haven't been able to agree on his next opponent, and they've reached an impasse. It's not just the opponent that they reportedly couldn't decide on. It was the amount of money that Canelo would get for the fight. Canelo has been sitting on the shelf inactive since beating WB 175-pound champion Sergey Kovalev 10 months ago on November 2nd, 2019. The former four-division world champion Canelo has been idle since then, his career grounded due in part to the pandemic. Canelo's 11th round knockout win over the 36-year-old Kovalev made him a four-division world champion, but he's been unable to fight since that comment. Here is the statement from Canelo directly. I'm the pound-for-pound number one in the world. I'm not scared of any opponent in the ring, and I'm not going to let failures of my broadcaster or promoters keep me out of the ring, Canelo said in a statement. I filed the lawsuit so I can get back to boxing and give my fans the show they deserve. Wow. All right, I'll start with you, Andrew. What do
No,
you
throw
got?
it to Miguel. Throw it to
All
Miguel.
right,
I've been
Miguel, what do
doing
you
too
got?
much. Go to Miguel.
All right.
Well, I mean, if my mic is working, all right. So, I mean, it's like first, I don't know what exactly is he suing De La Hoya for. I understand like the zone part, the zone trying to get a discount
Mhm.
that shit, but what exactly is he suing De La Hoya for? Like, I'm confused. Every time, I mean, granted, well, he has a promoter, he's gonna say whatever the fuck media people want to say. Every or want him to say, but every time I hear him talk, he's saying, "Hey, can we just get past this already? I'm trying to get Canelo in the ring." Whether or not I believe him is another story. But nonetheless, it sounds like De La Hoya is on Canelo's side here. I don't understand why he's doing De La Hoya. That part I'm not too sure about. But
And I agree.
last
Okay, well, let's talk about this. For
okay,
them
yeah,
to pay him the $380 million, my belief, right? De
yeah,
La Hoya has talked about him from a branding and image standpoint. He's the star of gold. Oscar wants him to fight top tier caliber opponents. He's also
mhm,
going to need a large gate. He's going to need the sponsorship. I suspect that this DAZN Golden Boy contract that went down relies heavily on gate and purchasing of DAZN. Right? It's not just we wrote a check and it's sitting in an escrow and we're going to pay you out over 11 fights. You can fight a fucking doorknob for all we care. Um,
mhm.
it requires him to fight top tier caliber opponents. And without being able to put live bodies in seats, I mean, Canelo's playing a great game. He's basically, my opinion, it looks like Canelo's using the pandemic so that he can get out from under Oscar and promote his own fights and cut his own deal with DAZN or even ESPN or even Bob, for God's sakes, and be able to be his own promoter and cut out what has he got to be paying Oscar? 20%, 30% of that 380 million? I
At
mean, the
least.
person who actually gets fucked in this whole thing the most, if it actually goes through, is Oscar, because he doesn't do a whole lot of dick in this whole thing. I mean, to be perfectly honest, because all the events are co-promoted with Canelo and his organization. I just feel that this is Canelo trying to get out from underneath Golden Boy and renegotiate directly with DAZN with his own promotion. That's the way it feels to me.
Mhm. So, like, okay, like, I mean, that would make sense. That would make sense for De La Hoya to try to keep Canelo in that sense. I mean, it sucks. As a matter of fact, I think I read recently that was some sort of delay with the lawsuit because of an error on like Canelo's lawyers and shit like that. That's gonna delay things a little bit. It said it has to get to this point. I don't know. Every time I read that the zone is asking or needing or wanting De La Hoya to find a quote unquote premium opponent, like, I would have liked to have seen the list besides that we mentioned earlier, right? De La Hoya and fucking the of who to consider, who these premium fighters are. Because, like, I mean, yeah, granted, Rocky Fielding, no, Jake, yeah, Jake, of course, Kovalev, yeah, I feel those guys are pretty damn good. Like, I don't know, how they don't consider those guys to be premium. I mean, what example they have, or what they consider a premium boxer. I would like to have seen a list of fighters that they do consider that. I mean, at the very least, if you guys, this is the fighters you want you to fight, pick as many as you want for the next 11 fucking fights we go or something. But it's sucks that it has to get to this point, but I guess we'll see what happens. So I don't know if I want, I don't know. He's done a pretty good job of promoting, Canelo. I don't know if I want necessarily Canelo to be out on his own, De La Hoya, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Andrew.
Yes.
They're all jealous of Oscar. Ryan Garcia is jealous of Oscar De La Hoya, and I believe so Alvarez is jealous of Oscar De La Hoya. They can't get out from his shadow, and it kills them. I'm not mad at Saul Alvarez for doing what he's doing because I think Dazin's full of shit. All right. Them actually saying that some 2 UFC fighters and a fighter who hasn't fought in fucking, I don't know how many years, almost 10 years, 7 years. How long's Oscar been out? Are the fights that the fans want to see? That's the fight that the boxing world wants to see. You don't know shit about boxing. Okay, Mr. Skipper and whoever the fuck else owns DAZN, Daz. What are we supposed to call them? Are they DAZN or DAZN? This is how bad their marketing is. I still don't even know what the fuck their company's called. What's it called?
They didn't hire me. It's DAZN.
Fucking morons. They're fucking morons. They're losing one of the biggest spaces in boxing because they can't work out a deal or get. Listen, correct me if I'm wrong, but soccer is accepting fans in the UK again. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's where they make
I'm
their
not
money.
sure. I'm not sure.
They're playing.
Wasn't there a boxer? Didn't Jose Ramirez said he would go fight Taylor in the UK because they can have fans and he wants fans again?
Oh yeah,
I think they're partial fans. Yeah, I agree. They're
okay.
Partial fans.
So then why don't you? Well, we know they have big money just like they do over here. So why didn't they accept Billy Joe Sanders? Put Canelo with Billy Joe in a stadium that you can pack. Maybe you have 100,000 seats. Well, social distancing, you get 40,000 in there. You get 50,000 in there. I don't know how you do it, but why can't this get done?
30,000. It's usually a third.
30,000? That's fine. Up the prices on the tickets, they'll pay. Everyone's craving to see boxing, to see sports, to see live action. We all know this. We've seen it everywhere. Why can't DAZN make this shit happen? Say, Canelo, you want this money? Well, we got to take you to somewhere where we can generate money. You can't do it here. We can't do it in Vegas. It can't be in your backyard. Like, let's change the tables a little on Saul. Say we're gonna go to Dubai. They want to see you out there. They're willing to give you fucking $20 million just to see you fight out there. Let's go. Let's go right now and see what he says to that. Now, if Canelo starts going, oh, I don't want to go out there. I'm not gonna have my judges. I don't want to travel. Well, then we see that Canelo's just, he's just trying to get paid here in the States and fight here. He wants it all his way. Sometimes it can't be all your way. I totally agree with Miguel on. I don't know why he's suing Oscar, besides jealousy. Because Oscar De La Hoya made you. I'm serious about this. This kid made $15 million when he was a fucking nobody. You remember when he fought Floyd? A lot of the boxing press, boxing fans said he was a paper champ. Yet you made $15 million and now you act like the guy didn't do a fucking thing for you? Then a few years later, he gives you the biggest contract ever signed and you want to act like the guy didn't do anything for you? You're jealous. Just say it. Oscar probably enters the room. All the girls still flock to him. They know he's a freak, so they probably still all flock to him. No one wants to be with the cupcake when you got the freak in the room. Okay? Dead serious on this, you guys.
You know who the happiest man in boxing is right now? Sitting behind his breakfast and reading the paper when he saw the story.
What's that, Lee?
Do you know who the happiest guy in all of boxing is when he read this story in his newspaper over his breakfast? Had to be Bob Arum, just sitting there going, ha ha, fucking king, got it right up the ass.
Hey, I don't know what the end game is on this. Now listen, when I heard he filed in California, I knew he lost, and he lost the next day. They already threw the lawsuit out, said he needs to amend it, needs to bring it back. It's bullshit
right.
The way it's
written
right now.
I mean, it was just the first shot. Generally
but it was still in California.
Yeah,
California is owned by De La Hoya. All right? California is the one who told Oscar Richard Schaefer and Al Heyman were trying to steal his company. You need to get away from them. It was all the powerhouse in who owns the Staples Center? Lee, what's the company?
The Maloofs.
They were big in getting Oscar away from Schaefer. It's been reported. So Oscar's been in bed with all the politicians. He made money for all of these guys. No, they're not fucking going with Saul Alvarez on this. Alvarez has, damn, it's a double-edged sword with me because fucking Alvarez has the opponents that should be granted fights with. It was Billy Joe Sanders, and who's the other guy they denied as a premium champ or a premium fighter?
Callum, it was Callum, right?
Yes. Another English guy. These fucking people. Yeah. Another guy they could take Saul over there and probably fill half the house up. Listen, DAZN is only $20 a month. Now, when you do that for every month, yeah, it can get expensive. But if you do it for 1 month, that's $80 cheaper than what pay-per-view used to cost. So why wouldn't you put Saul back on DAZN, take him to the UK, and pray that the Mexican Americans and everybody else buys your fight for that one night for $20? Maybe they cancel the next month. Maybe they forget about it like half of your fucking gym memberships, and you keep rolling in the money after that. It's weird where this is going. Now, DAZN, it sucks. They were a powerhouse a few months ago. COVID hits, and now we're talking like this was a bad investment. It was not a bad investment a few months ago. COVID has really crippled this company because they have fighters in just too many places. They don't have a stable in one location where they can keep their shit going like the Top Rank and the PBCs. I don't know what the end game is. I hope DAZN comes to their senses and takes Canelo to the UK or takes him, even if Billy Joe and Canelo might do good in Dubai. Have Anthony Joshua stroll around. Isn't he a big name in Dubai? Have him be with you. Have him sign some fucking autographs. Don't you pay that dude like $30 million a year or $30 million a fight? He can't help you guys out on doing some promoting for Saul over there? Like, use your fucking head already. But court, that's where you want to put your biggest moneymaker? Idiots.
And this is going to delay matters too. Like everything that we talked about, the opponent, potentially Saunders or Callum Smith, like that's not what's going to happen. This should get settled. And this doesn't settle this year. Like we're going to forget about seeing Canelo this year at all. Like as if we haven't already forgotten about it. But I mean, it delays any fight Canelo can have in the near future.
You know what? Manny Pacquiao went over to fucking Australia, fought some fucking no-name named Jeff Horn. He did 6 million views on ESPN. They did 40,000 fans in the stadium. Bob Arum got it done.
Yeah.
And that'll do it for this week's Fight Net Radio.
Wait a minute. I got a question. I got a question.
Should we just
Odell
Heather
Beckham.
Heath Hardy on DAZN
No.
to do workouts once a
No,
month?
this is who. What sex story would you want? And I don't even know if it's sex. I don't even know what I call this. But we all know what Oscar De La Hoya did. Did anyone hear what Odell Beckham's being accused of this week?
Cannot wait.
No.
Oh man, man. You guys should. I wish Lee was behind the damn computer. Odell Beckham's girl, mistress. I don't know. Some girl he met. I don't know. She's claiming that man likes to get shitted on.
Andrew.
She's saying that man likes to get shitted on, Lee.
Nice.
Oh, he likes the dirty Sanchez.
No, that technically falls under sex. Strangely, it's a fetish.
I don't know about that, buddy. I don't know if Spoons does either, but at least they're doing the motion of some
sex. I've done research on this topic, but apparently there are people who like to lay flat on the floor while a girl squats over them and shit on their chest.
Is that before the sex happens? After the sex happens?
Don't know.
I don't know.
Don't know.
I would think maybe the
honestly, I'm laying on the floor right now looking up at the ceiling and I'm trying to picture it happening to me. And there is nothing fucking appealing about it. I would be looking at a vagina that's kind of contracting while shit is coming out from behind the caboose onto my body. And I can't see why that would be fun.
Odell Beckham's going to have the worst year ever. Fantasy league numbers are going to be down. There's no way. I don't know what this young man's going to do. I haven't even seen him say he doesn't do it. So I just want to know, is it better to be Oscar De La Hoya or Odell Beckham right now?
Oh, Oscar De La Hoya by
far. Thank you. Finally.
He's a fucking freak.
The trophy has left Oscar.
Side action. Oscar's getting side action on just being a freak, while he's married to his latest, I don't know, Puerto Rican, whatever. I don't.
Dude, the
Oscar's the
memes,
man.
the internet slaughtered Odell Beckham this week. If you guys go look him up, some of the funniest fucking memes you're gonna see. Guys dancing on Taco Tuesday saying this is Odell Beckham. Guys dancing saying, oh, this is Odell Beckham when his girl says her stomach's bubbly. Oh, it was terrible what they did to that man. Now you know. Then one guy said, now you know why he plays for the Browns. Oh, that's fucked up.
Wow.
That's fucked up.
Wow. And on that chocolatey note,
thank you. Come again.
We come to the end of another compelling Fight Net Radio. Sorry, no Jeopardy game this week, but we will bring it back next week with better audio from Miguel. Next week, I am looking at Bob Arum hosting Jeopardy on Bob Arum Facts. I'm working on it. It's still coming down the pipeline. Wow. Can I get more shit jokes in this week? Coming down the pipe. No.
The young lady was asked, so did you do it? And she said she couldn't. She tried, but it didn't happen.
She was constipated.
Would it be like a log? I mean, I would imagine, and I'm really like, this isn't a joke. I'm literally laying on the floor staring at my computer, my tablet above me while I'm doing the show. I'm trying to think about it. I mean, most people, like, if you wanted that to happen, wouldn't you want like something wet with like some action to it? I don't think you just want like a piece of, that's what it would sound like, right? It would just be like a piece of like a shit just dropping on you like that. How is that exciting? Like having I would have to then look at it and go, hey, is that salad in your shit? I mean, sweetie, how did that come out of your, do you need to be, on your chest? Like it would be like would it come out slowly like a tail? Like I'm trying to really picture this. Is it a fetish of watching it come out like a fucking tail or a horn coming out of her butt and then right on your chest? I'm really trying to
damn him.
Like, I gotta be honest, if I was into it, I'd probably want her to like be taking diarrhea pills and like spray me, I guess.
Oh my god.
Could you clean it off with a little pee when you're done, sweetheart? I mean, clean the spot. And I don't even see where that's exciting, strangely.
It's being hit in the head way too many fucking times, Lee. That's where that comes from.
Dude, I've been hit in the head a lot.
No, not like that. Not
the woman and said, hey, while I'm down here, do you think you could drop a deuce on me?
I'm gonna give the young man the at least that. He's ran over the middle in the NFL one too many times. He's been hit in the head, and maybe it knocked a few screws loose, just like Oscar's case, what we used to say about him and the fucking spoon.
Yeah, but he likes to stick spoons up the ass. Like,
I know that.
The spectrum. He's into, weirdly torture. Even Billy Joe, like, torture him with a crack pipe. Cool. Ice-T on Oprah said he liked to do that too. I remember that. My mom was all, get in the room. She couldn't believe he said that on the Oprah's TV show. But Ice-T said he did that to his wife too. So it's been, you got guys that are weird like that. But shit it on, come on, Odell. That's fucked up. I'm really laying on the floor staring at the ceiling trying to figure this all out from a semantics point of view. Like, are her legs over my face, and I hope she drops it right near my face so I can see it kind of cascade out the back end like some kind of giant rhino head fucking horn coming out of her ass. Like, and first of all,
Jim Carrey and Pet Detective 2.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. I mean, I would have to assume that she's not some big fat lumpy piece of woman, right? Like, it's got to be a fairly hot chick. So how much poop is actually in there? I mean, if you're really into it, I would imagine you want volume to fall on you. I mean, I might have to.
Sorry, Fighting Net. You could go ahead and turn it off.
Hit the button, Miguel.